Peace, peace, peace. Hey, I'm out here on my walk this morning, and I just want to chime in on this whole topic about the American developmental system. And I got a different look at it. Look, America is a top-down system, right? We look at things from the top down. So the reason why it's a debate is because we're looking at the top, and we don't see any American-born players at the very top of the game, right? SGA is probably gonna win the MVP again. It is what it is, right? So it's another year where people are just going to talk about, man, what's wrong with the American basketball player? The American basketball player as a group is good, but we are unable to produce that absolute top-end talent right now, and especially, NBA level talent, because of a couple issues. Now, it's not AAU. AAU is an organization, AAU is not the grassroots system. So the grassroots system is what we're talking about. And so what is the issue in the grassroots system? I put it to you like this. When we were coming through, right, we were learning and being coached by men who had accomplished things. We were being coached by people who had jobs and people who had families and people who had wives and children and owned homes and, were running businesses, whatever they were. These men had achieved certain levels of success, and they were able to pass that on to us in the form of this idea that it's a grind, right? It's a grind to do this. Now, the majority of the people in this, and there are some good guys in it, but the majority of these dudes are hustlers, bro. And the sport has gone from grind mode to hustle mode. And so kids learn how to play down, they learn how to cheat and steal and hustle to get into events where they don't have to pay, and then you got all these event coordinators trying to make money. People weren't trying to make money off of grassroots basketball when I was coming through, right? It was about literally helping young people and developing young people in the game. And somehow or somewhere, this whole hustle type of idea came in. So you're dealing with all these shoulda, coulda, woulda ass type people in the sport. All of these dudes that have not been successful in their lives are now using youth sports, in particular basketball, to try to come up, to try to make it, to try to figure out a way to hustle this kid and hustle that kid, and I'm going to trade this kid for that kid. And it's messed up the kids. It's messed up the top end of the product. Let's just be honest. So now you're dealing with a lot of people and a lot of kids that they don't know how to grind. So when they get to the point where they need to know how to be coached, they need to know how to listen, they need to know how to deal with somebody getting on them and coaching them hard and criticizing them in a constructive way, they can't take it and they fold. I tell parents all the time, if you got a top 100, top 150 kid, and then people are promising you and telling you this and telling you that, you go spend a couple days out at the summer league. Walk around that hotel 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night and see the kid that was supposed to be the number 5 pick, supposed to be the number 1 pick, sad face because it might be the end of the road. He's 21, 22 years old. But again, he was never taught how to grind, never taught how to deal with setbacks, never knew what it felt like to be overlooked. He just been handed everything. This is what Iggy was talking about the other day. These kids are just handed stuff and given everything. Never have to figure it out on their own. Never have to deal with that uncomfortable moment where, nah, bro, you're going to the bench and you're going to figure out how to make something of yourself off the bench. You're going to figure out how to make something of yourself, simply by how hard you work. They don't got that. So when you look at the top end of the sport, we're not producing that level kid because of this type of environment. Our kids don't know how to listen, right? I think I was talking to Sam Mitchell one time. Sam was talking about this. You can have all the information, kid will know you got information, but if he doesn't have the skill to listen, it don't matter. And our kids don't know how to listen. They don't know how to grind. They are being taught how to hustle. And you're being taught how to hustle by these underdeveloped ass men that are all through grassroots basketball. Basketball is a recreational sport. So every Tom, Dick, and Harry thinks they know basketball. Everybody out here got an idea about how basketball is supposed to be played and how it's supposed to be addressed. And that's why we're not producing the top end talent anymore. It is going to be God knows how many years before we get another MVP. And I'm somebody that coaches in grassroots. I'm committed to the young people. You know what I'm saying? I like the grind of it. It keeps me close to the game, but being able to make my own schedule because I've been successful in my life. But we're not learning from those types of people anymore. We're not learning from men who have families. We're learning from motherfuckers who are literally trying to make $1 off of these kids. They're trying to figure out a way, if I could take this kid and put him here and then do this with this kid, I can make me a couple dollars. And it undercuts the kid's value in the long run because the kid is not learning the things that he's going to need when he runs into that dude, just like what happened last night in that Stanford game. You run into a dude that's ranked 200 and something in the country, and all you can see how mad and how angry he was. He'd been overlooked and counted out. And he had his moment last night. Was the best player on the floor by a mile, and he was ranked 200 and something in the country. And why? Because some dude who's sitting up somewhere on a computer says this kid is the number 200 and something player in the country. And people believe the shit. And I tell parents, yo, use that stuff as motivation, yo. Don't be fighting for your kid to get ranked. Use it as motivation. Because most of the dudes that's doing all the rankings and doing all this other stuff, these dudes don't know basketball. Basketball is simply a hustle. And that's the problem with the sport. It's a hustle. It's not a grind. Football is a grind. Baseball is a grind. You have to be technically sound in those sports to continue. To keep moving on and elevating yourself in football and baseball, you've got to be technically sound. You can't just be out here depending on athleticism and feel and vibes like these dudes be out here. Come on, bro. That's the issue with our sport. So until we address that and get some of these weirdos out of the game, bro, and we get more expertise at the grassroots level, shit's not going to change at the top, yo.